All right, gentlemen. I want you to repeat after me, just how I do it. Ready? Your turn. Very good. Go ahead now. Good golly. Bring it around now. Ladies. Good golly. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Mr. Charlie Puth on keys.
And away we go.
Yay!
Hey,
What in
everybody.
the hell?
What is going on? Oh, my God. What beautiful! You look beautiful tonight, Shannon. What did you do?
Ah, thank you. You're looking nice and toasty yourself. What are you? Got some drumsticks going there?
That's festive. I've got the happy genocide Indigenous Peoples Day hat on. So yeah, that's what I got going.
Gobble,
on.
gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Turkeys are mean, right?
Turkeys are mean. Turkeys are really mean, and we don't have any turkeys except the one residing here at the house. But
Like, are they mean like they don't call you on your birthday, or mean like they attack you?
no, if you give them a cross-eyed look, they're after your ass. I mean, it's like really.
I knew some geese that were like that.
Yeah, shoot, man. Hey, we got chatters. Hey,
We got chatters.
Hey, chatters. There's Barbara. I'm serious. Jordan Allen. Chris Foster. Al Wolski. Hey, Al. What's going on? Who else we got? Jilly.
Jelly.
Oh, there's Stevie. Hey, Redneckonomics. We had a great time with Stevie last night.
Yeah, Stevie was great. I love having Stevie on.
Yeah, absolutely. Karen Daly. Hi,
Hey,
Karen.
Snork.
Hey,
Snorky.
Snorky. Snorky.
We got peeps over on the other channel too, Sharyar
Let me
and
twist
Rich Diana.
Twist my head around. Kameshwari Kate. That's a cool name. I like that. Sharyar, Rich Diana.
Yeah, I can't even see because I got that one pulled up on my phone. I can't.
Rich,
see the names
Rich
very
Diana,
well.
your hair looks rather foul. Yes, it is. It's my turkey hat.
Chris, is that Chris? Did
Yeah,
Chris say that?
Yeah, no, that's Rich Diana. Hey, what's
Ah,
going
that's awesome.
That's going on. It's got like blemishes.
Jive turkey.
Jive turkey. Jive talking. I miss that.
Yeah,
That's the
jive
silliest hat ever.
turkey.
Yes, that is. I have only sported this hat one other time on Thanksgiving, and that was about 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, it's special release tonight. I still,
Do you have a props closet?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You must.
I'm gonna have to get one of those containers outside the house
Ah.
pretty soon. So it's just the way it is. So how was your evening? How was your day, Shanda?
My day was crazy.
Yeah.
And my days have been really crazy this week, and I feel like I can't keep up. But
Yeah.
I get tomorrow off.
You get tomorrow? Are you sure?
Oh yeah, okay.
Hey, can you tell me who this little guy is here? He looks so familiar.
I know. I want to say that he's from like the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon, right?
That's
I mean,
what
that was before my time, but I think
yeah,
that's what it's
I
from.
think it's Rocket J. Squirrel and Bullwinkle. Is that or Snidely Whiplash's professor? It's one of those back then. So.
Well, it's actually supposed to be, Rudy Giuliani.
Well, yeah.
And he has what they call it a cosmetic malfunction.
Cosmetic malfunction. I think of penile implants falling out or things like that, or But
I've
this-
never had such a horrible cosmetic malfunction.
What, a penile implant malfunction?
Exactly.
No, that was the Just for Men failure. I think we were talking about that yesterday. We need to
No,
put
but
some
Just for Men doesn't do that.
No,
This had to be some dollar store spray and
hair.
shit.
Yeah, spray hair. It's water-based, Rudy. You don't mix it with sweat. So, from Underdog, Simon Barr, Snarky. Of course, you know that.
Of course,
Yes.
Sinister. Yeah.
Yeah, Sinister. Yeah, you know what, Snarky? You probably remember Captain Kangaroo too, because you're probably around my age, I think. If you're not, I apologize, but Yeah. Janet Jackson had a cosmetic malfunction once too. What happened to Janet
No,
Jackson?
no, that was a wardrobe malfunction.
It was a wardrobe. What happened?
Bullshit.
Did her fake?
They planned that out, and I always felt bad for Justin Timberlake because he really took a beating, in the public arena for that. But she was in on it. They'd planned that shit.
Well, what happened? Did he pull on her top or something, or was it?
Oh, I'm sure it was just Velcroed on there. It was part of her costume for Super Bowl.
So we got a nipple shot
But
of the Super Bowl.
oh my God, to even think that that was such a big commotion, and now look at the shit that we see.
Oh yeah, really. It's we got Jeffrey Toobin now, so this is how we've evolved. So, or devolved.
Yeah, Tubin. Yeah,
Devolved.
exactly.
Tubin on a Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon. Tubin. That's got to be a song.
I was
Come
just listening to Cruisin'. That's
on.
hilarious.
Shit.
We
See,
so could remake that.
I know you're in my brain.
Titty sighting. Yeah, that's what it was.
Titty sighting. Titty sighting. Thank you, Jilly. I remember Captain Kangaroo Bob. Yeah, I do too. He was such a nice man. I hope he didn't end up being some terrible person because of whatever happened. So,
No, actually, I don't know anything bad about him. So yeah, no.
what about Mr. Rogers? Is he still?
No, he's still good. He's still Satan.
No problem, dude.
I ain't found nothing bad yet.
not a closet pervert or anything.
No, if anything, God, he might have been like truly up for sainthood.
Oh, good. Well, we need those these days, I guess.
Well, too bad he's gone, but he left an awesome legacy. I was raised on Mr. Rogers.
Oh, you were.
Yes.
Did you have a sweater?
No, but I remember watching him on PBS, back then when you were poor. That was really before cable. So Channel 9 was really, you watched Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers.
Well, yeah. The one that sticks out to me is there was this guy on Sunday morning who played a guitar and he said, "Make a wish. Make a wish and it'll come true." I really missed that guy. It was so awesome.
Somebody tell him who that was, because I have no idea.
Yeah, it was before your time. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it was.
back in
Yeah.
decrepitude
I grew up in
time.
the mid 70s.
Yeah,
so
I was watching. What was it? Not Ed Sullivan, but the other guy, the guy with the heavy accent. What was that guy's show's name? It was a variety show. Lawrence Welk. Yeah, Lawrence Welk. So yeah, and New Christie Minstrels and all those singers back then. The real nice ones. So anyway, what do we got here? We got.
And Snarky says, actually, it's been found out that Mr. Rogers bit his Tootsie Pop without licking it all the way to the center of the chocolate.
Oh, no shit. You know what? That commercial, I wish I had a dime for every time that commercial has played. The one with the owl.
I know, right?
That
Yeah.
thing is like 55 years old, and I remember that, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, it was great, and I
That
keep
was
seeing
great.
that. But can you imagine having a buck for every time that thing played?
Oh my God, right?
Oh,
Well,
shit.
there's a guy that lives up here in Squim that wrote the theme and the logo to Crush Soda.
Really?
And yeah, and he's been getting rich ever since. And that was
What?
like in the 60s.
That was what, Orange Crush?
Yeah.
Orange Crush back then. What about the Fanta thing? That was a
Fanta. Fanta was a regional thing. We really didn't have that in Western Washington until probably the 90s.
Well, I remember the Fanta girls. That's when I still.
Yeah. I just remember Mad TV making fun of them, and they were drinking gravy, and they were all overweight.
They were drinking.
They had gravy flavored Fantas. It was hilarious.
Oh shit! Oh, I just gravy flavored soda pop.
They've
Oh,
got gravy flavored soda pop. It's
shit. What-
it's popular around
well,
this time
I
of
mean,
year.
yeah, and you got Frito Lay out there coming out with every flavor in the book, like cottage cheese and pimento. I mean, Jesus
Ew.
Christ!
Actually, I don't know if those flavors would be that bad.
Well, as long as Massengale doesn't come. out with
Okay, you
flavors.
can tell that we were so busy just BSing in the green room that we were like, oh shit, we're going to start this show.
Yeah, we're running late here, and I wasn't even drunk yet, but I'm getting there. I got my triple
we're
on
getting
for
there.
tonight. I'm just gonna have one triple tonight because I'm out of.
Just one.
I'm
I've
out
got
of
the
time, so.
the Dope Cup winner, Canna Organics,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
gelato number 4, and then of course I have Deep Sea, which is Falcana.
Oh,
They are very
God,
good.
all
too.
this fancy name shit. Well, all we had was like Thai stick and purple haze. It was like, God, they've really come a long
Yeah,
way.
but once you figured out, it's like when we first went into a latte shop, right? And you're like, "What the fuck is an Americana? What's a grande? What's a Venita?"
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know, but now you know. Almost everybody knows how to go in and order what they want. Well, marijuana's the same way. Once you figure out indica, sativa, hybrids, what you like, you really just go in and dial up exactly what you want out of your marijuana.
Yeah, when I was in college, it was just like grow all these plants, don't let them mature, and then use a pizza cooker to dry them out real quick so you can get high. Didn't work out too well. That's what we were reduced to. That and NyQuil shooters. That was what we did in
NyQuil
college.
shooters.
So
Yeah. Sometime I'll have to tell you a story.
Oh, I'm all for stories. I'm sure the show is too.
We should get started with the show.
Okay. What did you bring here? This is from Ben Hawk. You brought this.
Yeah, Ben Hawk. Ben Hawk's a friend of mine and has been for a long time. Joe Biden tweets out, "Here's the deal. Because President Trump refuses to concede and is delaying the transition, we have to fund it ourselves and need your help." And Ben Hawk says, "Give us your rent money or we'll let the bad man hurt you some more."
Yeah. I mean,
I can't believe they're actually asking people for money and they can't even pass a fucking.
Well, it's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic when they're, by the way, tell you what, I'll give you a quarter as soon as we get a stimulus check, you asshole.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell your sister Nancy to get off her shit and start getting this done.
Your sister.
Your sister.
Okay, so this is my adventure. Jimmy Dore covered the story of the poverty traffic that we're seeing all over the country, because I've seen Texas, I've seen Washington, D.C., huge lines. Well, my little tiny Western Washington town had a huge line of its own. I went down there yesterday and it took me 2 hours. So you can see just in our small little town community how bad it is.
I think the crying avatar is appropriate here, because have we really come to this, everybody?
Hi guys. Okay, so as you heard, I was going to go to the food bank today because they're doing the holiday baskets. Save myself, I don't know, $40 or $50, not having to buy a turkey and all the trimmings. Our show ran a little late this morning. I was supposed to be in line at 10:45. So this is food bank pickup. You can see it says food bank pickup right there. And I came from the wrong direction, so because I wasn't coming from the east, I couldn't get into this line, and I wasn't gonna cut, I wasn't gonna, okay, well, I turned left, so I need to push in. So these are all people lined up in my small little retirement community, which is fucking mega wealthy, that are waiting to pick up. I don't even think they're giving us a turkey. I think it's just a voucher to go pick up a turkey, maybe at Safeway or something, is what I heard, which isn't what they normally do. Normally they just have 12-pound turkeys that they pass out. So I'm gonna keep driving and let you guys see this line. I don't know if I can sit in this line. I've been fighting a headache for 2 days. I've got shows to produce. I got things I gotta do. This looks like this is good. It was supposed to be from 11 to 2 today. I just don't see how they're going to serve this many people, because this line wraps around and goes all the way up Highway 101. I don't see how they're going to serve all of these people and have anything left. Let's see if I can get up and out of here. This might be kind of scary. Go see how long the line is on the other side and if I can get into it. It's drive-through, so it should be moving pretty fast.
Wow.
Well, so that clip goes on for another 2 or 3 minutes, and so it took me almost 2.5 hours just to get into the park. And then once I got into the park, it was probably another, half hour, 45 minutes. And the people were amazing. It breaks my heart to see that many people in my community suffering right now. And none of these elected politicians giving a fucking shit.
No, Nancy needs to be standing there with her ice cream truck, passing out ice cream cones.
So let me tell you what they gave us. When you pulled in, they gave you a little ribbon around your car for how many families that you were picking up for. There was no questions asked, no nothing, just how many families do you need. And they would open your trunk for you or your hatch, and they would pull like 5 or 6 cars through, and they had canopies set up with prepackaged bags, like reusable grocery shopping bags, And so you got like a bag of potatoes, a little 5-pound bag of potatoes, a can of corn, a can of peaches, a box of stovetop stuffing, just a few essential, I think a thing of cranberry. And then you got a pumpkin pie, a gallon of milk, and a loaf of bread and some eggs, I think there was maybe a few more things, but that was the gist of it. But then somebody would come up and hand you a gift card to Walmart for $15, and that was to go get your turkey or your ham with. So, and then we literally, once you pulled in, you were out within a minute. So they were pumping us out fast, and I still had to sit for 2 hours.
That's good that they're that organized. When I was making meals for firefighters down in California, we had to jam. There were thousands of
Right.
meals we had to make, so that's good.
Right. Well, and the local police were out there, which I don't know how I feel about taxpayer dollars having to go to direct poverty traffic because we can't take care of our people, but they at least were out there, keeping everybody moving.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that they're helping the people they can. My question is, when are they going to run out?
Yeah, right. And that was just it. When I pulled out of there and I kind of doubled back around to see how many cars, it was all the way back to pretty much where I had got into line. And they were already talking about how they were out of stuff, the volunteers along the route were, they were trying to get more stuff delivered and brought in because they didn't realize they were going to have this many people.
Well, I don't know about you, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure you feel this way. If there was some way that I could help these food banks, help distribute, help get food products, I would certainly do it.
Right. And if you're not in a position to help, don't feel like you have to help. But if you ever are in that position to help, these are the charities that actually utilize your money. When you give to something like Red Cross or, any of those fucking big corporate charities, how much of that's really going to actually help the people in need? With the food banks, they're actually taking that money and they're buying food and getting it out there. So.
Yeah, every time I've worked for doing something, part of what we bring up goes to the food bank. We did 4 charities when I was doing. We did the food bank, the Women's Care Shelter, the
another great one.
Yeah, the Alternative Humane Society, and the Fisher House. The Fisher House, the Fisher House shouldn't need any funding at all, but yet they do. So, there again, pick your charities, help them out when you can. And
holy shit, milk is $10 a gallon, says Kevin. My eyes can't see that name, but
where
are you? It's $10 a gallon. That's
is that Alaska?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts, but it is what it is. So. And this ain't going to be no holiday season. This is going to be the holiday season,
right?
Unfortunately. So yeah, help where you can.
Well, and a lot of the Christmas bazaars and community sponsored holiday events are not going to be happening this year because of COVID.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are not going to be out there.
Yeah,
for people
this is when we do our charitable stuff normally, and there's no way. I've got pre-existing condition. My wife has no health insurance. I mean, are you kidding me? We can't risk it. And we want to. So we're trying to find other ways to help. So
yeah, I normally attend a Christmas gala for our homeless shelter here, which is it's called Taffy, which is for youth. It's for youth on the streets. And they do great work. They take a lot of shit because they have a vigilante group here that's literally stalking them and has been for many years and messes with the homeless. They just want them out of their streets, get these junkies out of our town, get these homeless out of our streets. We don't want them, living next door to us. And so they attack these charities and these shelters up here. And it's been a big freaking deal. I mean, the whole community is involved in, fighting one way or another in this stance up here.
When did human beings become disposable?
I know. I fucking know, right?
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, they're called Our Town. That's the name of them, Our Town.
Oh, shit. Well, on the other front, this one.
Right. So yeah, let's move into something better. than
Yeah, well, this isn't better. It's just more descriptive in certain ways. I like this. This is, I think Johnny did this, but this is, look at this. Look at all these
Johnny?
people underneath these banners, the Lockheed Martin, the Boeing, the
this.
Halliburton,
Wow,
the
that is
Raytheon.
good.
Yeah, that's, they did a good job on this. This is
Johnny's talented.
our sister and brothers over at the Combo Couch. So let's hear what they got to say here. I think this is Fee losing her shit again.
No turning back. And the more you dismiss election fraud and the more you play into your Team A and Team B cheerleading squads and the more you pretend that the squad has done all this great crap that they haven't done, like, the more you trick yourself into thinking that electoral politics will save you when electoral politics is not going to save you. There is no movement right now to have a viable third party when we don't have election fraud, when we don't have all these things. How do we do that? How can you expect that to happen when you're not doing the work to do it? And that's what people need to understand, is there has to be an outside the electorate movement of people coming together and holding the establishment accountable based on issues. So if your issue is Medicare for all, well, then you better realize really quick that you need free speech to inform people about that, and you need to be able to vote for people who are for it. But if all those people that you vote for are only in the Democratic Party, then they're going to eventually capitulate, because that's what's been happening. These people have been capitulating. There is no reforming the rot in the Democratic Party. There's only going around it. So what I'm saying is the solution, because it is a solution that many people who understand what needs to be done have been saying, it's just that some people don't get it. They don't see it as a solution. The solution is direct action. The solution is, sure,
Direct
while some people
action,
are
lady.
going to be in the Democratic Party, you need to build a framework for these third-party cadres. But in order to have the framework, you need to have a movement of people that are ready to do that are working together against the system, that are out there demanding from politicians a stimulus. You've got $1,200 stimulus and that's it. And you're okay with that? You're just going to take that? Like, that is not okay. We're in the middle of a pandemic and they rejected healthcare. We're in the middle of a pandemic and they selected the guy in 5th place, made him president, and made the woman who couldn't even win her own state VP. Do you realize what's going on here? Because that's what's going on. You have no power, and you gave up that power, the little bit you had, when you voted for Joe Biden. That's
I love Fee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. 5th place, and the woman who couldn't even
Yep.
win her own state. I mean, the person, whatever. This is bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, you can't give up your power. We have got to use direct actions, because reforming the Democratic Party, we've got some associates and former associates that are trying to reform the... More power to you. More power to you. But don't spread the neoliberal horse shit. I'm sick of that crap,
Yeah,
and we
I
can
agree.
belabor it all day long. But no, Fee, you knocked it out of the park, And again, I'm partial to Fee. Because she speaks her mind. She's like 5-foot fireball, and that's what I like. I want people to step up, just like everybody in chat. Push back, give us some shit, man. So again, and she alludes to a point of co-option by the Democratic Party. We've got a very horrible example of that later on. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. And I've got a very great clip of Glenn Greenwald tearing it frickin' up and explaining why they capitulate and how they always fucking will. And
Yeah.
if you haven't watched that Glenn Greenwald, got clips, but I see
yeah.
you guys talking about it in the chat already.
Oh yeah.
It's so good,
Yeah,
so good, and I knew
Greenwald,
it was gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn was losing his shit about.
I
this.
love it when Glenn loses his shit.
Yeah, because
He's real. He's real, and that's what I want. I want real. I don't want talking pundits telling me politically correct statements.
I've always admired Tulsi Gabbard's ability to speak very
Dude,
evenly.
what happened to my Tulsi clip yesterday?
I don't know. What happened to it?
I don't know. I thought maybe it just disappeared because it might have been controversial.
I didn't do it.
Remember,
wouldn't do that.
Nina had Tulsi on her show.
Oh shit, we
this
got to
week.
find
Drop the
that and
mic.
replay that. No, like I said, I've always admired her even-keeled approach, but I want to see Tulsi start losing her shit. because we're going to have to start getting more loud and more proud of our positions because it's the right goddamn position. And people are going to have to wake up, direct actions. Let's throw this up here before I get too depressed. What?
This thing's a killer, man. It's been on every show since it dropped on the internet yesterday morning.
Yeah, I think it's Donnie's Dancing that did it. But this is a United Spot. They cleaned it up or did something with it, right?
Yeah, they kind of tweaked it a little.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
We did it, Joe.
Hell yeah!
You're gonna be the next president of the United States.
Oh, you got that right.
The husband will be going from vice president to president-elect Joe Biden.
President Biden.
It's a happy
That's
day
right.
for
Happy
our
day.
country. Because Joe Biden is a unicorn.
Come on, let's go.
Because he is determined to bring people together.
Trump walks racily down the street with his MAGA hat pulled down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of cheeks. Trump votes ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the mailbox, the Trump votes rip and fall to my feet. Yeah. The Trump vote bites the dust. The Trump vote bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. The Trump vote bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna cheat you too. The Trump vote bites the dust. Hey, who the hell am I? Where the hell am I? Who are you? Ah!
Oh shit, that was great. That was great. They did a Tucker Carlson one that wasn't really funny, but this one's good. I like.
Well, yeah, I brought the Tucker one, but I cut all the Tucker out of it pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. That was great. I just, yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait till we're gonna start doing these. By the way, as soon as we can, we're gonna start dropping these because I know
We could start doing these right now, but the problem is I can't figure out how to get both of us on the canvas. So it'd just be one or the other, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we could splice them together or not.
No,
so.
we're working on some college level animation stuff here, and I hope you guys have fun because we're going to take our avatars and plus other avatars, and we're going to voice over them, and it's going to be a blast. So, if anybody's good at that stuff, graphics, let us know. We can use the help. It'll roll out a lot sooner, but I've already got some stuff to write for it, so it's going to be a blast. Anyway.
Yeah, Julie, sometimes she does.
Yep, she does. She bent the knee to Joe Biden first.
I won't
didn't she?
argue with you on that. I won't, but
Yeah. She bent the knee to Joe Biden first. She was the first one, right?
right.
And then Bernie did. So,
Oh, she was a scorned woman, is what she
Yeah,
was.
she was
Bernie
pissed.
just fucking ghosted her ass, and
Yeah.
then she was like, "Well, I'll show you."
Yeah, I know. It's we're not always going to agree on everything, but damn it, we're all pretty much on the same ticket as far as where things go.
Dude, that's what happened. What happened is what happened.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words.
Ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Genocide, indigenous, unhappy, and turkey.
I was gonna say, actually, Trump won the election.
Oh shit. That.
Yeah, that'll piss off all the neolibs in your family.
Oh my God. Yeah. Talk to
I
that-
dare you to tell that to your sister.
Yeah, talk to that aunt and uncle that.
Right.
And it's this.
No, Trump actually won.
It's the neoliberals. The neoliberals are the worst on this. I mean, if you say anything about election integrity, oh, you're a Trumper.
Yep.
Oh shit,
Yep.
you're a Trumper.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, get off me.
Theorist. You're a theorist.
So I would say, okay, so you had a rigged primary in 2016, you had a rigged primary in 2020, but I'm a conspiracy theorist because it would follow that the general election was probably rigged a little bit too. I don't know for who, but yeah. So I don't know. Whatever.
We've seen firsthand. We've had it happen to us. So for us to not, support that it's happening, that's just stupid.
Anybody got any 6th mass extinction coming? Yeah, Rich Diana, I think you're right. that would wreck Thanksgiving. We get what that doomer label hung on us, and I wear it proudly because I'm not going to bullshit people the way things are going. I mean, listen to Kevin of Black Mirror News. I mean, he's got it right on line with what we're going. Plus, everybody else, and the environmental thing's going to get us. And I'm not going to go out laughing. I'm going to go out crying with everybody else. How can we do this to generations, to eons of life on this planet? And I just can't get my turkey brain wrapped around it.
I
all.
know, right? I can't
Honestly,
either. I still can't.
Nope.
Years and years into fighting neolibs, I still can't understand why.
they don't-
understand what they're doing to their own children.
Yeah, they don't fucking get it. They think it's all going to go on. Did I bring this or did you?
We're addicted to oil. Get over it.
I brought this. Wake the
Yeah.
fuck up. That's me. Wake the fuck up. Did I spell it right? Wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up.
All
Yeah,
right, let's
works for
check
me.
it out. That's Mehdi Hassan. You can take Mehdi Hassan and launch him
Yeah.
into space. That guy is just neoliberal all over.
The biggest pushers of disinformation. So let me just throw it to you, Glenn. What do you have to say to this? These guys who are journalists calling for the other people to censor other journalists. Go ahead.
I mean, the smugness and just oozing arrogance of that clip makes me want to almost do violence, like physical violence, to that particular individual who said that we cannot possibly manage our discourse without them acting as our gatekeepers, as our overseers, determining what we can and can't hear. I mean, speaking of the Iraq War, that network that owns that platform that you just showed was one of the prime propagators of the lies of the Iraq War. Talk about disinformation. They needed fucking gatekeepers. It was Meet the Press that Tim Russert would have Dick Cheney on every other Sunday to talk about Saddam's nuclear program. And MSNBC actually did have one person on their network who was against the Iraq War. You know what his name was? Phil Donahue. And they fucking fired him for exactly that reason. So they're the ones, they're going to use that network to say, we can't allow people to conduct their own conversations without us acting as their gatekeepers, as their overlords, because otherwise on the very network that sold America, not just the Iraq War, they turned the people who did the 2008 financial crisis into heroes. Andrea Mitchell is on that network. She's married to fucking Alan Greenspan. And then what about the last 4 years? 2016 to 2020 of convincing Americans that we've been taken over by the fucking Kremlin, and that like putting Adam Schiff on every night saying he heard, like he's seen definitive proof of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government, only for the Mueller investigation to close and not only say they couldn't find any evidence to establish that, but they did not arrest one person, not one American, for criminally conspiring with the Russians over the election, the whole point of the conspiracy theory in the first place. Those are our fucking gatekeepers, the people that we need to control we don't need any gatekeepers. That was the whole point of the internet to begin with. That was why it existed. That was the promise of it, was it was supposed to be free. And Edward Snowden gave up his liberty in defense of that idea, right? Like using it as mass surveillance, monitoring us, is to degrade and convert the internet from this tool of liberation into one of coercion. Same thing if now we're going to have this little fucking worm, Dave Roberts or whatever at Vox, telling us that the only kind of information that can be disseminated is one that he is the gatekeeper of.
You know what? I think Jimmy was looking for some wet wipes.
There wasn't one part of that interview that I didn't freaking love. I just love it when Glenn's dropping F-bombs and getting fired up because, man, he knows his shit.
You gotta, anybody, you gotta go watch those. I mean, like I said.
Oh, I've got like 3 more clips.
It's freaking awesome. And what The Intercept did with Greenwald was just horrendous. And he even says how they had to pay for his 24-hour protection and all this other stuff. But he said they crossed a line that couldn't be crossed. You know, it's an ethical thing. And The Intercept is just turned into garbage now, right? Because of this kind of shit. So once again, we have no fourth estate anymore. The fourth estate is you. It's you in the chat. It's the people on the street. It's, you know, it's everybody, because we can't depend on these corporate run entities to do anything except preach the propaganda of Raytheons, of Boeings, of the pharmaceuticals, of the rest of them. So
preach the gospel.
Yeah, preach the gospel of horse shit. And remember, what was it? Judith Miller got us into this goddamn Iraq war. That was the New York Slimes. Thank you, baby. And how many people got their legs blown off and got killed and got, you know, moms, dads murdered because of this horse shit. And I will get into this later. So anyway, let me move on here. What do you got here, Shanda?
Oh, this is my Stoner Corner.
Stoner Corner.
Yeah, this is the waiter. Would you like super salad, me high as fuck? what the fuck is a super salad? I totally like that right now. And then this is me going for a walk.
All right.
And then this is can somebody bring a turkey to smoke? And
That's for all our vegan friends. That's the way to do it, right there.
Totally vegan.
That's the way to do it for sure, for sure, man. And then you've got another one here. What's this? Oh God.
My mom says, "Don't cause a scene or bring up politics on at Christmas, okay?" And it's Biden wrapping paper.
Oh Jesus Christ! The only thing I could see there is it coming on a roll and you put it in front of the toilet. I just again. Now
I would love to have Trump and Biden wrapping paper, and then a little
Obama,
give them to opposites.
A box of Obama Kleenex, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, we had a progressive meeting years ago, and my really good friend who passed away since, she brought a Ronald Reagan calendar, like it was for the next year, but it had pictures of Reagan. And no, but she never said anything. She just set it down like maybe on the auction table, and nobody ever noticed it. So when we were packing up, I came across it. And for weeks, I kept posting on Facebook, who brought the Reagan calendar to the progressive meeting? I think it's hilarious. So it's just funny.
Now, in that calendar, was it just different candid shots of him sleeping?
Oh, yeah, him riding a horse.
The propagandized Ronnie, the Gipper. The Gipper.
The Gipper.
Now, these are your cuts, right?
Okay, so yeah, there's a couple of different. I break them into kind of segments though. So this one I back up with Useful Idiots and Jason Burmis. So.
All right. Yeah, well, you're saying get the fuck out. So this has got to be good. Let's check it out.
That's always the amazing thing to me about censorship advocates is this idea that they're going to have this imaginary world where institutions of authority are going to censor benevolently in order to defend the marginalized. It's such a radical misunderstanding of how power operates. Say to a leftist, what do you think of the U.S. government? And they'll say, oh, the U.S. government is authoritarian and fascist. And then you say, what do you think of the federal judiciary? And they'll say, oh, it's filled with right-wing law and order judges because that's who Reagan and Bush and Trump appointed, which is true. And then you say, what do you think of, tech executives, billionaires in Silicon Valley? And they'll say they're hideous, they're horrible, they're right-wing oligarchs, which is true. And then you say, are you in favor of giving those institutions, the ones that you just condemned and denounced as fascist and authoritarian oligarchs, the power to control the internet and regulate? Oh, yes, absolutely. We need to protect the marginalized. Why would you think that is how they're going to do it? The censorship is always aimed at the marginalized, not the powerful. That's the nature of it. It's a minoritarian right, free speech, because it's always people with minority views who are aimed at censorship. We reported, Jimmy, at the end of 2017, I did actually, not we, that Facebook, when they get requests from the Israeli government to censor or remove pages of Palestinian journalists, Palestinian activists, or just ordinary citizens in Palestine, in the West Bank and Gaza, on the grounds that they're inciting violence or advocating terrorism. In something like 98.5% of the cases, Facebook complies with the Israeli government's request. Why? Because the Israeli government is powerful and the Palestinians aren't. They never take down Israeli pages, almost never, when Palestinians ask, because Palestinians have no power. These censorship powers are going to be exercised on behalf of the powerful, which right now means the neoliberal order of the Democratic Party, the CIA and NSA, Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and the New York Times, kind of Atlantic, NBC, CNN, Axis. That's who's in power. That's the ruling coalition. And anybody who is against them, you or me, on the left or the right, it makes no difference, will be subject to these kinds of constraints, these kind of speech constraints.
I love him.
Yeah, no, he's right. And did you cut that one where he's talking about who's actually turning in all these people to Facebook and stuff?
I don't know.
If you don't, I want to talk about that. But yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, Glenn's on fire there, and we cut this from the Jimmy Dore interview because it's unfettered. There's no bullshit. I mean, this is Jimmy doing his thing, whatever, like him, love him, hate him, whatever. It's unfettered because Glenn's doing all the talking, Yep. Listen to him.
Jimmy did a lot of talking. Cutting these clips was, come on, Jimmy, you've been going 4 minutes now. Let's get moving.
Yeah, cut him some slack. But no, these clips are they're cut very well. So what are we moving to? Is this Pompeo Who the hell's this?
Okay, so yeah, this is Jason Burmis, and yeah, this is just fucking disgusting. Watch this.
Oh boy, is it gonna piss me off?
Oh yeah, it's gonna piss you off.
Oh fuck.
It's a love fest.
Here are their remarks.
Here are their remarks. Thumbs this up, by the way, rock finners. I don't see any thumbs up over here.
A very intimate and productive conversation overlooking the walls of Jerusalem. And it reminded me of how deep and profound your tie is to the
You might as
Jewish
well just
state.
make out.
Where's the knee pads?
I
God
gave you
damn
a
it.
Bible.
I gave
as
you a
gift,
Bible.
and I said that the people of the book have not had a better friend, and I mean it. And I want to also express my appreciation for our personal friendship and everything that went along with it. So every word that I'm saying here is meant from the heart. I think that the first thing I should do is also express my condolences on the deaths of 6 American members of the MFO in Sinai. You were a serviceman, and you know the pain of the loss of the people. They were killed last week in a tragic accident. I sent a note, but I want to say it directly to you. And they were killed along with fellow peacemakers from France and the Czech Republic. So we honor their memory, and our thoughts and prayers are with their families.
So here's the thing. In this country, out of the gates, whenever you cross religion and politics, it is unacceptable. However, when you're in Israel, all of a sudden the Judeo-Christian thing is okay. And, you know, they're talking about, you know, overlooking the Holy Land and a mountainside and the book and giving him a Bible. I mean, that's pretty heavy when you look at, you know, what happens in the Bible. You know, that's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, if you believe in the Bible, and I'm not knocking Christians here, okay? Number one, I want to point out again, in American politics, this is rare. Unless you're playing to a certain group of people. And obviously, you know, Trump plays to a certain group of people. And every once in a while invokes the Bible. But Mike Pompeo, boy, oh boy, when this goes beyond, when you think it's your religious duty to take back the Holy Land, that's a problem, especially when people live there.
Mike, we worked together closely for these past 4 years. First when you were CIA director, and then as Secretary of State. And I think that from those two unique vantage points, you've seen firsthand evidence of what I've been saying for many years, that the United States of America has no better friend in the state of Israel.
No better friend.
No better friend.
We have no better friend. And I gotta, you know what? I didn't say it, but Burmis did, and I agree with him.
I wanted to throw up. This is like Hakeem Jeffries giving Nancy Pelosi an ass-kissing job the other day. Is that what's fashionable these days with these war criminals? This Netanyahu is probably going to go down in history as one of the top 50, maybe 25 war criminals of our time. I mean, Jesus Christ! Talk about giving somebody a Hummer. Wow.
Right. Yeah, I found it stomach turning. Was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you got the right avatar for me up there. My head is exploding for sure. This is just.
Oh, I knew this one would piss
I
you
am
off.
just sick of this shit. And don't give me this fucking.
I follow it up with Katie Halper and Matt Taibbi talking to Roger Waters, and it's an excellent interview. Go watch it. I only brought a little clip though.
All right, this is a good group right here.
You paid kind of a pretty heavy price for talking about BDS, and also, I mean, you wrote a letter of support for Corbyn.
I saw that.
And
this is good.
It's been kind of amazing, like this the line of attack against progressive politicians like Corbyn, that they're anti-Semitic. I actually didn't see that coming because they didn't use it here against Sanders, but it was pretty effective, wasn't it? Or do you think it was?
Well, what, against Corbyn?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And this is a fight that's only just started.
Right. I am in touch with a lot of activists in the United Kingdom, and we're going to fight back again. I am now involved in legal matters where I'm using what little cash I have. Well, I actually have quite a lot of cash, which is why you see me get things like this, to defend members of Jewish Voice for Labour. Okay, who. And there are three of them there's one in particular whose name I can't remember, Melissa, somebody or other. I didn't know we were going to be talking about this, so I haven't got my notes. I'm very bad at names. Who is being sued by John Ware, who is the guy who directed the disgusting Panorama hatchet piece on, quote, anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, which is a total put-up job, plays fast and loose with any real information. But they're trying to crucify left-wing members of the Labour Party who wouldn't stand for it. The great tragedy of Jeremy Corbyn, wonderful man as he is that he didn't stand up and tell them to fuck off. Labour Party in 2019.
Exactly. I brought that clip with Chris Foster in mind because Chris, he came on the other night. I think he was on Natural Progressive with us. And he gives us a perspective, of the UK that we don't know, we don't see or hear from the US. And Bernie Sanders they couldn't come after Bernie Sanders with the anti-Semitic because he's a Jew. And they knew that, they tried, they really did during 2016. Chris Foster is hanging out over at the Twitch TV tonight.
Hi, Chris.
So, hey, Chris. But this really reminds me of, God, why wouldn't he stand up, tell them to fuck off? He should have.
Why?
But yeah, they would have used the same strategy on Bernie, but they couldn't.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't. And I don't know. We got another Greenwald clip here, right?
Yeah, what is this one talking about? You're melting my brain, and I'm super stoned.
Oh, this is number 3, I think, or 4.
But they're so good.
Yeah, let's just let it play itself out here. Let's see.
This is such an important. Let me just quickly add to this because this is such an important point about the left.
Man, he's on fire.
In 2016, the left scared the shit out of neoliberals when Bernie almost beat the invincible Clinton machine.
Yeah, we did.
He almost won. Had the DNC not cheated in documents revealed by WikiLeaks, which is why Julian Assange is now in prison, he would have beaten Hillary Clinton, right? An old Brooklyn Jew who wasn't even a Democrat, who calls himself a socialist, would have taken down the Clinton machine because in the 2008 financial crisis and afterwards, huge numbers of people are identifying as socialists because their towns are boarded up. They have nothing but opioids and, shitty jobs at Amazon and Walmart at the best. They get out of college or even a master's degree with $150,000 in debt and can only get a job for $13 an hour. They have no future. So, of course, they're starting to identify in the most capitalist and richest country in the world as socialists. So the neoliberals are thinking, holy shit, we better do something to co-opt the left, to get rid of this left-wing movement. And what did they do? They invented a fascist monster. Fascism is taking over the United States. So you may hate us, the neoliberals, but if you want to fight fascism, you need to get behind us. You need to cheer the FBI and Bill Kristol and Silicon Valley censorship because we're the only things that can protect you from fascism. And I hear these tough guy liberals all the time saying, the leftists all the time saying, what's the point of defeating neoliberalism if we lose to fascism? So they convince people that Trump is actually Hitler. And once you think Trump is Hitler, and that the Proud Boys aren't just a tiny band of fat white guy losers in their 50s who just cosplay, but it's some kind of serious insurrectionary fascist movement. If you get convinced of that, of course you're gonna fucking march behind Neera Tanden and the New York Times and Rachel Maddow and fucking Joe Biden because they convinced you that your only alternative to aligning with them is to succumb to fascism, and it's completely cucked the left. They're total authoritarians now because they believe they're fighting Nazism.
And they're not. And they cry wolf. They cried Nazi so many times that when the real Nazi shows up, they're not going to see him coming.
Yeah, I think we need to send Jimmy a gift certificate for Walmart for some wet wipes for his next Glenn Greenwald interview because he was just pee in his pants.
I was laying in bed watching this last night late and just like, yeah, screaming out like,
I know.
go, Glenn.
Jordan's right. Jordan Allen's right. Jimmy loves to pat himself on the back, but I will say he's been right more than most of these fuckers have.
He fucking has.
You know, so again, and Shanda, I got to give Shanda credit. She's been right since we've been together doing these shows. 99%. She bet the election.
Aw, thank
so once again, you know, I mean, if you're right, you're right.
Well,
And-
I'm not calling it done yet. We'll have this conversation when the electoral votes.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But I'm not even falling for that bullshit either. You got one more cut here. So we got, this is the last cut, I think. Let's see what we got.
Inside the Democratic Party in Congress actually hurts progressive causes more than it helps, because it gives the idea to people that there's an opposition party in the United States when you and I know there isn't an opposition party. Nancy Pelosi is the progressives' opposition just as much as Mitch McConnell is, if not more, because it's more insidious, because everybody blue check lefties Hollywood think that Nancy Pelosi actually is on the left. They actually think just like Barack Obama, they actually think he is opposing the corporations and the military. Then they're actually not. They're using her femaleness, just like they use Barack Obama's identity, to do insidious shit. And so what do you say to that? I say it's actually more insidious to have them inside the Democratic Party because it gives the false impression to people that there is an opposition party. What do you say to that?
Yeah, so, it's interesting. When I first started, writing about politics, I was part of the liberal blogosphere, and I believed the whole bullshit about how Democrats are basically good people. They just needed some spine, like stiffening, like they're stiffening their spine, that whole like Daily Kos shit.
Yeah.
And then the more I watched the Democratic Party, the more I realized what bullshit that was, right? But then I still thought, well, the way to change that is by supporting insurgents. And for a while, I actually believed that. And I listened to this story in 2018, in June. Ryan Grimm, who is the Washington bureau chief of The Intercept and a good friend of mine, and I think a great reporter, messaged me and he's like, "Hey, there's this woman running in Queens against this shitty incumbent who's just hasn't been to the district in 20 years. One of those guys, just he's a lot really powerful, but nobody knows him. That in those back rooms of the Capitol where everything gets done." And he said, "I think you'd really like her." And I was like, "Ryan, I'm not interested in supporting Democratic candidates." He's like, "No, just look at her and talk to her." And it was AOC. And I looked at her Twitter feed, and it was that week she had said, the Israelis had killed a bunch of Gazans, and she went onto Twitter and she said, "The oppression of Palestinians is a human rights issue. You can't pretend you care about human rights in the United States and racism in the United States if you support Israel, and I'm sick of people in my own party." And I was like, wow, right? She's running for Congress in fucking New York City saying, "I'm sick of Democrats supporting Israel." I was like, all right, I'm interested in her. And I went and then I interviewed her. And it was you can see it on YouTube. It was 250,000 people watched, however many. And I really was impressed with her. I asked her about identity politics, and she said, this is a Trojan horse. They get Black and Latino candidates who pretend to be liberal, but they're really, just there to give the appearance of diversity, but it's not real diversity. She said, I asked her if she won, if she would support Pelosi and Hoyer for leadership. And she said, absolutely not. They've been there too long. We need new leadership. I won't vote for them. She fucking wins. What does she do? She gets to Congress. The first thing she does is she votes for Pelosi and Hoyer, of course. And then she fires her staff that's too critical of the Democratic Party. And she basically turns into a good soldier for she now calls Pelosi Mama Bear. And most of what she does is identity politics. Yes. Now, let me just say two things. One is that I get why people do identity politics in her position, because to take on true power centers, to take on Wall Street, to take on the CIA, to take on the Israel lobby, it's really hard.
I would love to know what his notes look like, because you always see him looking at his notes.
Yeah. Well, it's just
Fuck,
keep in
he's
mind
smart.
that-
God, he's got a lot of knowledge.
Well, yeah, the only one that comes close, or he comes close to, I'm going to put Chris Hedges at the top.
Chris Hedges, Matt Taibbi,
Matt
Glenn
Taibbi,
Greenwald.
yeah.
You know, did you see the part where he talked about Aaron Mate?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I did.
I was thinking of you when I was like, Oz needs to hear this.
Yeah, no, I heard it, and he was respectful of Aaron, but at the
He
same
was,
time,
but he said
putting
it,
him
the
in his
fact
place.
is he
Yeah.
needs to get paid. Yeah.
he needs to get paid. So, what's your price? What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet?
Yeah, it's just the thing, and this is why, you know, people come at me every time. My sister yesterday, because I was telling her, you know, I'm not a fan of Obama, and she goes, "Shame on you," and I said,
"Shame on her."
I said, "Shame on you."
Yeah.
And I didn't. I said, "Don't even get into it because you're going to be crying by the time I get done educating you on Barack Obama." So, and she said, "Okay, I know, you know." But the same thing with AOC. Such a fucking disappointment. Playing their game, and I understand what kind of pressure she's under and everything else, and they ruined people. Look what they did to Bernie Sanders.
But this is exactly why taking over the Democratic Party is not going to work for any progressive movement.
Yeah, we got some people we know that are trying to become, you know, like national DNC people and state delegates and everything else.
I got
More
lots of friends
fucking
running across the
power
country.
to ya. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
The end
We
result.
have less support inside the Democratic Party than we did at this time 4 years ago because we came in with a fucking vengeance in 2016 after Bernie lost, coming into the reorg in December and January of 2016, 2017. And we took a lot of spots and they beat us back from coast to coast from every PCO spot all the way up the line. And we don't have that much power left.
No, it's like trying to fight the Walking Dead. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the Democratic Party is a carcass that just,
We're like whack-a-moles to them. Progressive,
Yeah,
progressive,
yeah,
progressive,
and it's
progressive.
all
They
about
just
the
knock
money.
you out.
You know, one of the things that Glenn covered in the clip that you didn't clip, but by the way, those clips were perfect. By the way, you cut.
Oh
it
my,
perfect.
well, God, those were long clips, and
Yeah.
I don't normally bring those, but they were
No.
so good.
One thing that he said was they hire these think tanks and these people to police, to go around the internet and social media and turn in people like, well, not us, we're small fishies, we're guppies in the big sea, but you know, anybody that knocks Israel or anything like this, they file a complaint. They have thousands of these people doing this shit, and Facebook and the rest of them listen to them, and they end up censoring them. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they do. So
Exactly.
it's not. These are not real people. These are people paid to do something. Just like our congressional representatives are bribed to work for the oligarchs, you know, and Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes and Chuck Todd and Jake Tapper.
Oh, he talks about being friends with them. You know,
Yeah.
I was friends with them.
Yeah, and he says he's not friends with him, but you know,
Not
again.
anymore.
So we have the war of our lives going on, the social wars right now, and we need to do direct actions. I mean, that's the step we're going to have to take because the Democratic Party is just getting ready to give it back to the right wing in 2022 and 24. They're setting it up. Look at Biden's cabinet. Are you kidding me? Really? Just have Citigroup come in and put the same cabinet in that Obama did. You know, same thing. So that's what we get. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, what can we do to make things right, Al Walski? It's direct action.
Direct action now. You know, with your dollars, you know, place them properly. You know,
Yeah.
you
Stop
know,
giving them to corporations.
yeah, and don't stop with that. Not just on the political fund. Buy somebody a meal that can't afford it. You know, help somebody. You know, go to the hospital or get to their doctor. But we have to do it on all fronts. We cannot abandon any front. Not one, because they've got it bought and paid for. We have to meet their challenge daily. And we're going to go into the Eat the Rich segment here, it looks like, right?
I don't really have an eat the rich. I mean, I brought a report on Putin, but that's down the deck a little bit later.
Okay, and you've got your buddy here. My dogs are barking. I hope it's not a SWAT team from the CIA. That would be
Thought
bad.
police.
Thought police. They're coming to lock me up, baby. Here we go. This is your buddy here, right? The screamer.
Ticked off Vic.
Ticked off Vic. Okay, Vic, let it go while I go see what's wrong with out front here.
No elected official should be getting a raise anywhere. Period. Hey, what do you hear? What do you say? My Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sister's ass, the Pony Express. A very ticked off Vic here. You know what ticks me off? So many news stories every single day. Now follow me. I gotta be honest, but there is a shitload of really disturbing news every single day. COVID-19, the election, the behavior of certain politicians, the behavior of certain citizens, the weather, unemployment, small businesses going down, and a million other subjects. I mean, it goes on and on and on every single day, like the fucking curtain has been pulled back, and all the insanity that this country was hiding is just out in the open now. Have you ever heard of Pandora's box? We opened Pandora's warehouse. Anyway, so I just read about two things that happened to be about Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of New York, in case you're living in your sister's ass. Now look, I'm not going to get into the picture of him earlier this year when it looked like he had nipple rings on under his shirt. I mean, if the guy wants to have nipple rings, I guess that's what he wants. Personally, I don't want any jewelry on my man boobs or on my special pants package either, for that matter. I mean, what are you going to put on the chubby? A wristwatch? Anyway, I make no judgments about nipple rings or what anyone wants to do in private. That is their business. Okay. But here is where I do have a problem. It just came out that Cuomo is due for a raise in January. A $25,000 raise. He currently makes $225,000 a year as governor. So this is like an 11% raise. Okay, stop right there. Look, I'm not going to argue that 11% is too much or too little. And I'm not going to argue that $225,000 or $250,000 a year is too much salary. What I am going to argue is that maybe nobody in government should be getting a raise right now after what all the people are going through during this fucking pandemic. Look, I'm sure Cuomo works hard. So do a shitload of people in this country. And I'm sure he deserves a raise. So do a shitload of people in this country. But holy shit, when so many businesses are shut down and so many people are out of work and so many people have lost a lot of their income and so many people are worried about getting evicted and putting food on the table, then no governor should be getting a raise.
I love him.
Jesus.
I watched just to see if he's going to stroke out one of these
Yeah,
days.
he is. I would like to see Henry Winkler play him in a biography. I think.
Yeah, so if that's ticked off Vic, go check out his channel. He does some hilarious roadside rants.
I could do that, but everybody would leave. So.
You could do that.
Yeah, I think I could. What the hell is this? Are they teaching?
This is what you should do with Derma and Mitzi. It says when Dad's on the phone, and then it says dogs be quiet.
Yeah, I just did that. I went in there and said, "Is that really necessary?" And they're going. Missy goes to Dharma. What's necessary mean? And it's just how they are.
What did you say, Dad?
Yeah. What did you say? Can I have a treat? Yeah. So anyway, no, that was great. Ticked off Vic, and me going in the other room saying when I'm on doing a show.
No, it was perfect timing.
Yeah, I got this, Amber, Brave New Future gave this to me today, and I've seen something like this before. They had one about police across the country at one time. They took it down.
Yeah.
It didn't give the cops a good look because they were all getting thrown in jail or busted or fired or everything else. But this one, this is called a violation tracker. And if you haven't seen it before, you type in the corporate name in there, like I did Dow Chemical today. And Dow Chemical's like evil, but they had like hundreds of millions of dollars of violations, fines, and everything else.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit.
Hundreds of millions. Okay,
that's just gum on their shoe.
It's gum on their shoe. It's chump change out of the ashtray. EPA violations, workers violations, all this stuff. But I put the link in the rundown so you guys can check it out. If you want to get your mind blown on how many violations there are and the parity of what they're being fined versus what they make, it's going to cook your brain. Because Dow Chemical, it's $1 trillion multinational corporation. So again, I thought that was kind of cool, and it's a tool. You can just see how much corruption, and the chump change goes the same for when they pay off these candidates. What happened to the camera here? Did you freeze?
No, Pat the Batman fan has joined us.
Oh, Pat the Batman fan. Okay, good.
It's time for Pat the Batman fan's movie review.
Yeah, let me just do we have something? Yeah, he's in there. I need to get a camera in here. So anyway, entertain the folks while I set this up, okay?
Okay. Pat, how you doing tonight? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
okay.
hear you. Very
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings, Pat.
How are we feeling today, kids?
Feisty.
Sweet.
Feisty.
Just another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is lovely. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Just did some karaoke. Feeling good about myself.
Oh yeah, what'd you sing?
Let's see, I did some Men at Work.
Nice.
Who Can I Be Now? And I did Let 'Em In by Paul McCartney.
Right on.
It's a good one. And the Three's Company theme. I had a theme of ways to greet people at doors. One is the Paranoid, the Men at Work song. Paul McCartney's like, let 'em in. And then, of course, the Three's Company is just fucking total cheese.
Right on.
And I love it.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, let's get to movies, because I've learned, guys, that I am best in small doses. So let's just get this shit out of the way, okay?
Let me
I moved the card up for you, Oz, so our segment card is ready to go.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting the camera back on you. Let me see what I can do here. Oh.
That's okay. Pat can have my camera.
Yeah, I know. Pat's got all the cameras right now. Yeah, let me see here. Shanda. Pat, you are on the camera now, and like I said, I'm having a hell of a time getting the camera set up. What happened here? Oz,
I don't know. Did it pin in?
Oz screwed the pooch. Okay.
Well, anyway, let me talk about a couple movies that I think are worth your time.
Okay.
The first is called Nightcrawler.
Oh, I remember that one.
Jake Gyllenhaal and a guy named Riz Ahmed, who is like, I don't know how famous he is really at this point. I think he's getting kind of well known, but this kid is he's really a fantastic actor. And it's sort of about media and the sensationalist aspect of media, and also Jake Gyllenhaal just sort of plays a really interesting, creepy motherfucker.
Yeah,
so
he's a good actor. Yeah,
he actually is. He kind of. At first, I was kind of like, he's kind of douchey, but I've grown to appreciate. I think he's a really good actor,
right.
And it's really Rene Russo's in it. It's one of Bill Paxton's last movies, which is a reason enough to check it out.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Bill Paxton, man. I got lucky enough to meet him twice in my life, so that was very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, he was just hilarious, man. One time I was working in an electronics store, and he's like, "Hey man, I need a setup, man. I'm a total like Luddite with all this stuff, man. So you're gonna have to help me."
I could totally hear him saying that.
Yeah, he used the word Luddite, and I was just like, "That's so fucking awesome." Anyway, so Rene Russo's in it. It's a really interesting movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is great, and this Riz Ahmed kid, like I said, he's like my favorite new actor. But then the second one, which is a sort of that one, Nightcrawler didn't, it got good reviews, I think, but I don't think it blew any, box office records or anything like that. I don't know how many people have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth it. It's unusual. It's different. It's not the usual Hollywood shit. And then Jamie and I stumbled on a movie last night called The Sisters Brothers. With
I think I've seen that.
With what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly in the leads. They play the two brothers, the Sisters Brothers. Sisters is their last name. And also Jake Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed, oddly enough, have roles in it as well. And it's worth it to watch them, Nightcrawler first, and then Sisters Brothers second, because then you'll get a kind of a it's kind of interesting. There's an interesting moment with Jake Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed if you've watched, the first movie, the Nightcrawler first. Anyway, it is a Western, but it's got virtually no Western tropes in it. Like it's boy, is that how crappy I look on screen?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
a
it's
little
just your
dark.
Is that
You're a
is
little
it? It's my
dark.
stupid Mac. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's
Try and-
okay. Don't worry
I'll
about
try and
it.
step up my game next time.
No,
But yeah, it's very interesting. Again, two very interesting lead performances with Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly. They're both
I love both
really,
of them.
really great. John C. Reilly really carries the whole thing.
He is
in a-
such
in
an
a way.
amazing character actor. I mean, he just
Yeah.
does anything. I mean, I first fell in love with him during Magnolias. You
Yeah.
remember that with Tom Cruise?
Oh, sure.
God, that he did such an amazing job in that role, and from then on, I was just like anything he played in, I wanted to see.
Yeah, he's got a long history with Paul Thomas
Right.
Anderson. I think there's so many Paul Anderson guys. I can't remember which one's which. But Boogie Nights, obviously, that was the first
Right.
thing I saw him in, and then I was interested in that, so I went and I thought this guy's an interesting filmmaker. So I watched his first movie, which is called Hard Eight, which is also has Philip Baker Hall in it.
Oh yeah.
And John C. Reilly. It's worth watching. Not as good as like Boogie Nights and Magnolia, but it's got good, solid character
Right.
performances. Anyway, where was I? Going back to Sisters Brothers. Yeah, it definitely veers off. I didn't really know where it was going at first. Like I said, it's a Western, and they did a fantastic job with the production design of selling everything as real Old West. But like I said, it's just kind of doesn't have any sort of standard Western tropes in it, and it really goes off into some directions you just like. It was another movie like Nightcrawler that just kind of slid, I think, mostly under everybody's radar. But it was so well made. I was just like, it kind of made me angry that like more people haven't seen this.
Right.
How did I miss? The poster, as Jamie pointed out, is just kind of their faces, and I don't recall us ever seeing. I maybe saw a trailer for it, but
Well, that's shame on the studios for not promoting them well enough, right?
yeah, I mean, why can't they promote stuff like this instead of because, and we all know the answer to that. But
Right.
occasionally some good stuff slips through, and it's really, having worked in films and stuff like that, and it's a miracle anything good ever gets made, to be perfectly honest. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing with Washington, D.C. Like, it's a miracle any helpful legislation ever gets passed.
Well, we know that never
given
happened.
the system, right? So, yeah, those are the. Oh, and also, if we want to make it just a John C. Reilly fest too, if you haven't seen Stan and Ollie, it is
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
magnificent. The Stan Laurel and
Yeah.
Oliver Hardy movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steve Coogan plays Stan Laurel,
Steve
and
Coogan, wow.
John C. Reilly plays Oliver Hardy. It is just wonderfully made, really lovingly, and yeah, just so those are my picks.
So you're going back to karaoke?
Yeah, I might.
I know once I have the bug, I got to keep just going till the night's over.
Yeah, I gotta. I kind of did a little practice, and now I gotta record
Right.
them to edit them and put them up on the channel.
Nice.
And why hasn't everybody subscribed to my fucking karaoke channel, man?
Yeah, get over there and
Go over
subscribe.
there. We got some fun shit, man.
Yeah,
It is fun.
Give my fragile little ego a little
karaoke closet.
leave me some good comments.
Karaoke closet on YouTube.
I mean, we have like about 30 something subscribers, so it is literally kind of like performing to a karaoke bar full of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it is a lot of fun, and you guys are fun, and mwah, 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 I love
well,
you.
thanks so much
Sorry,
for
I've been real
stopping
busy.
by.
I haven't been able to catch many of the shows, man. I'm just
It's okay.
It's okay.
jammed with stuff.
It's okay.
So,
Well, we
but
get it.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
So long,
Pat.
suckers.
So long.
Bye.
Ah, Pat. He's always fun to have on. Hey, I see that it's Jilly Love's birthday. Happy birthday, Jilly.
Happy birthday, Jilly.
Jilly.
Jilly, happy birthday. I quit having birthdays when I hit 49. So it does stick if you keep this
Okay,
in
I'll
mind.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, do that. I thought you were 51. No?
I'll
Are you
never
gonna
tell.
beat me? Okay.
I'll never tell.
Never mind. I don't know how old you are. You look 26 to me. What do we got here?
Yeah, that's what they all say. Hollyweird. It's Hollyweird.
Yeah. Holly Weird. And who's the weirdest? Now, don't give me Alyssa Milano and Rob Reiner.
Oh no, we're gonna start out with Nazi Barbie's daughter, or not Nazi Barbie, Crackhead Barbie's daughter,
Kellyanne's daughter?
Kellyanne's daughter.
Which one's her? Both of them?
Well, not Katy Perry.
Oh, that's Katy Perry? I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see what they've got going on.
Claudia Conway, Kellyanne Conway's teenage daughter, who's made so many headlines for things she does on TikTok, calling out her mother and even sometimes President Trump. She has an actual talent. I don't want to hear people talking anymore about, oh, these kids on TikTok don't actually have any skills or talent.
I'm going to dispute this. She had a talent before we found out about this talent.
What was? Well, no, the stuff we saw on TikTok was just her being a petulant teenager.
She had a huge impact on Kellyanne Conway, on
That's
her
not
dad.
a skill. That's just a teenager talking crap about their parents.
Okay, go
That
on.
happens every day. It's not a skill. Claudia does have an actual skill, though, which it may land her all the way in Hollywood through American Idol. She can sing. She can actually sing.
We're going to show you this, and then we're going to get into why we think Claudia is going to be a contestant on this show in the coming season.
I need that good guy. Let me give you my life. Oh my god, that was so flat. Wait. I'm going with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Man, need to be there. Amen.
She can sing. She's look. I'm not saying she's gonna win American Idol, and she seems, appropriately critical of her own singing.
Dude, remember, people vote, and Kellyanne Conway is squarely anti-Trump. There are about 75 million people also who are anti-Trump. American Idol, as long as she can sing some, and she can, they're going to pick her. They're not dumb.
They're going to want her on the show.
Oh, they are going to want her.
Now politics is taking over American Idol.
You got to be kidding me. Really?
I just think it's freaking funny.
Oh,
I don't
my
think I don't think she's got that. I don't think she's got much talent. She's in a very acoustic room for one. I mean, yeah, she could probably carry a tune in a karaoke contest, but I don't think that's idol worthy.
Yeah, it didn't jump out at me too much, but hey,
Right.
she's a young kid. She's flashing her skin and she's making the sounds, and that's it. So,
But yeah, she probably will appeal to all those neo-libs that love, that type of programming.
yeah. Okay, what is this? Epstein.
Oh, Epstein's girlfriend is mad. She wants to be put in General Pop
She wants to be put in General Pop. Why?
because she's being treated like she's going to commit suicide, even though she's never had any suicidal tendencies or thoughts, and it's treating her terribly.
What's she in the slammer for?
Well, for facilitating one of the biggest pedophile rings in the history of our country.
Oh, that's ex-girlfriend. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Why am I having visions of like Green Acres right now, right? You have that someone who's used to this certain type of life, and then all of a sudden they're placed in somewhere else, and this is just, oh my goodness, oh, how uncivilized. But that's what happens when you're charged with sex crimes.
Well, nobody likes to go from sort of the toast of the town to the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Southern New York. It's not the nicest place to be. That isn't necessarily what Ghislaine Maxwell's complaint is. It's not that prison's yucky. It's that her conditions and how she's being held are different than a similarly situated pretrial detention inmate. And what that means is anybody else like her would be in general population and would not be subjected to the things that she says she's being subjected to. So she wrote that, well, her lawyers wrote that letter to Judge Allison Nathan, asking the judge to compel the department or the Bureau of Prisons to move her into general population. I mean, that's a little shocking, right? Because general population is not usually where alleged sex offenders or certainly child sex offenders fare well. And that there's a reason that she's asking for this. She says that in the current situation, she is being treated according to what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. And she says what's happening to her is because of what happened to Jeffrey. And they're going overboard to make sure that there's no suicide, that there's not another debacle that transpires. And so she's held in the shoe. She's in lockup. She's basically in isolated detention. Some people call it solitary, but it's segregated housing unit, SHU. And so she doesn't like that because she's being awakened regularly all night long. She says she's being subjected to all sorts of cell searches, not only that, but body scans, and that she's on suicide watch and has to wear special clothing for it, even though she's never, presented as suicidal. And she says that's really difficult. She also says it's extremely difficult for her to access the communication devices that other inmates could. Therefore, she says, I cannot communicate appropriately with my attorneys, and that is not helpful in me effectuating an assistance in my counsel. And so those are very important legal, words to use when you're appealing to have a change in your.
So boo-hoo, she has to wear paper clothes and she can't get to the phone. So
she can't get to the phone.
We better let her out and give her bail. Or at least put her in general pop, right?
Yeah,
and then that way she can be killed or,
Yeah, it would help if I read the card. I didn't realize. I thought this was somebody else.
Who?
I don't know. Shit. How many girlfriends did he have? Just Ghislaine Maxwell?
No, Ghislaine was pretty much his lifer.
He was a one-woman guy.
He was a predator, and she was feeding him.
Yeah, so she was the Siegfried, the Roy of Siegfried and Roy, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. For God's sakes, this is your buddy Mitch. What are you trying to say here?
For God's sakes, just die already.
God, that looks like Joanna Lumley.
It is, and I love her. I absolutely adore her.
You're getting into my head again. When I first saw her, and this was a long time ago, she was in the New Avengers, and she turned me on so much. I was just like, wow. That was when I was young and fun and full of stuff.
Well, I found her during the 90s. She was Patsy on Ab Fab, and I just thought that was the funniest fucking show. It was led by women. It was smart. It was crude. It was raunchy. It was BBC.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Always Joanna Lumley, great fan. Just like
she lived in a liquor store. No, she lived above a liquor store, and she'd always wake up with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth and a bottle of whiskey in her hand.
Does that remind you of anybody or what?
I don't know.
What do we
got?
So
this is our look at the elite for the night.
All right.
This is Putin.
Oh, this is Putin. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Is he a trillionaire?
America currently has a president that was the star of a reality TV show, and he's the richest U.S. president in history, with an estimated net worth of $3.1 billion. In fact, there are a lot of world leaders and presidents with that kind of cash, but there is one that really stands out, and his unorthodox past rivals even Trump's. He was a member of the KGB. He has a black belt in judo and has been seen wrestling with bears. He is Vladimir Putin, and he has a net worth that has been estimated to be $200 billion, which would make him the richest man on Earth. Estimated is the important word here, because no one truly knows how much money Putin actually has. Putin's wealth is an enigma, which many have suggested was earned earned through corruption, illegal use of government funds, and an intense network of offshore bank accounts. Today, we're going to dive into the rumors, the facts, and the estimates surrounding Putin's wealth and ask the ultimate question: is Vladimir Putin the richest man on the planet? Putin rose to power as Prime Minister of Russia in 1999 and eventually became President of the Russian Federation. He's been praised for strengthening Russia's economy, but at the same time, the country's political activities as a whole have been clouded by controversy for their lack of free elections and press freedom, as well as the frequent jailing of political opponents. Did I mention Putin was also accused for poisoning 2 people? We'll get to that later. Overall, the majority of the world does not consider Russia to be a democracy. This political corruption is a huge part of why people believe Putin has billions of dollars. Putin himself has been required to turn in an income declaration every year of his presidency. In 2018, he reported that he earned around $113,000 a year and had a total of $243,000 spread across a few bank accounts. He also reported only owning an 800-square-foot apartment, 2 Soviet-era cars, and an off-road truck. However, people have reason to believe he has more, much, much more than an 800-square-foot apartment. He's been linked to 58 private airplanes, including a massive private jet that has a $60,000 gold toilet installed. Having a private jet that has a gold toilet that's equivalent to a quarter of your wealth seems a little odd, wouldn't you say? And as someone that's enjoyed a few gold toilets in my day, I've got to say, Putin overpaid. He's also been linked to a $1.2 billion yacht, 15 different homes, and the most impressive of all, a $1 billion mansion. The mansion has 3 helicopter pads, a church, and an outdoor amphitheater. There are also several other homes throughout Russia and the world that are thought to be owned by Putin, some of which have bowling alleys, heated pools with gold tiles, and large movie theaters. But when I say linked, what does that mean exactly? Well, in this case, it generally means that one of Putin's close allies has purchased a property using offshore accounts. In the case of Putin's $1 billion home, nicknamed Putin's Palace, the link goes a little deeper. Prior to the mansion being built, a number of Putin's close friends donated money to upgrade Russian hospitals. The donated money was then used to purchase equipment for more of Putin's friends. They received a large discount, and those unreported savings were said to have been funneled directly to the construction of Putin's palace. This was reported by several officials who oversaw the construction of
So there, I don't just single out. I single them all out. Elite's elite.
I have a hard time believing this one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he? I will never know. He was KGB. He's smarter than our freaking corrupt oligarchs. I mean, he at least reports that he's not making very much.
Shit.
They're like, I got $100 million. Well, where'd you get that? You've been in politics for 30 years.
Oh yeah, ask Nancy Pelosi how she got her $100 million. Again, if he's got all
I love his gold toilets.
Yeah,
though.
if he's got all that money, he better start spending it now because he's never gonna have enough time to spend it.
Dude, I love him riding the bear though. That's fucking.
That
hilarious.
was hilarious. I'm thinking, is this an Onion article here or what the hell is that? I don't know. Shit. Who's this? Is this their pole dancing?
This is when lockdown's over and the exotic dancers go back to work.
Shit. That's just bad, Shanda. Come on, man. I did read. God, I'm never gonna get this vision out of my head. I did read an article the other day that they were saying that tourism for New York, they predict it won't come back till 2025. So
that's if what they vaccinate the whole city?
If they figure this Pandora's pandemic out. So Pandora's box pandemic. This is your That 70s Show guy.
Danny Masterson. Yeah.
Danny Masterson.
Rapey Raper.
What else was he in? Anything?
He was on an HBO original that what was it? The Ranch.
Oh,
with
The Ranch.
Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, so he's in the Stripey Hole now, right?
But they shut down production and shut that show down as soon as the shit came out about him.
Oh, okay. Well, let's check it out.
Mr. Masterson, your attorneys have filed a demurrer in this case. I have just set a briefing schedule. That demurrer will be litigated very likely at the next court date. Do you understand that you have the absolute right to be present at that hearing and give up that right and agree that your attorneys can appear on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the 977B has been lodged and is formally accepted.
On the docket, the case against Danny Masterson, and you may not have recognized him inside that courtroom. You probably recognized his attorney more than him, the attorney with the flowing white hair, which is Tom Mesereau, legendary attorney out in California. He does cases all over the country, one of the best criminal defense attorneys in the nation, represented Michael Jackson years ago. He's representing Danny Masterson, who is former star of That 70s Show. And he's in a heap of trouble right now because he's accused of raping 3 women between 2001 and 2003. And that is during that time when he is a big-time TV star and an incredibly popular show. And now it's years later, and he is going to be facing trial on all this. So serious charges.
I say throw the fucking book at him. He's a Scientologist, and they all believe that they can do whatever the hell they fucking want, and they can treat people how they want, and that somehow they're abstained from it because they're special. I'm glad he's getting caught. I'm glad the statute of limitations didn't run out on this, but I just got to say, what about fucking Tara Reid? You know, what about these other people?
Let's get Joe Biden in there. Next case, Joe Biden versus Tara Reid. Same thing. Yeah. All right. Exactly. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, these sports personalities and movie stars and all these people, you know, I'm glad that I don't have that shit in my closet. I could never live with myself.
Well, this is the attorney that got Michael Jackson off. Well, that sounded bad.
Yeah, it did sound bad. I had to think about that. What did she just say? What the hell?
Right.
Yeah.
Got him acquitted.
Got him acquitted. Okay. There you go. I find this one makes me uncomfortable.
I'm the best Yoda. Okay, boomer.
Yeah, shit. You know what? I don't even know. This is the Yoda from that Mandalorian show. Is that what?
Right, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen either because I'm not going to give Disney a goddamn dime.
I gotta say, cute baby Yoda's kind of cute.
Yeah, I know. Cute puppet. You know, let's have. Everybody needs a Yoda puppet before the world comes to an end. I mean, Jesus, that's a great meme. I see you got the professor up there again. He's Giuliani.
Yeah, he's all over the deck.
Yeah, we need to do a Where's Waldo with something like that. So, anyway, we are getting towards the end of the show, and we don't have any more Bernie Sandwars yet, right? No Bernie Sandwars.
No, we're out of Bernie Sandwars, and I'm trying to find something that would replace that. And
until we can start making our own.
Right, because we just got a program. Tell them about our program.
We got a program that uses CGI technology to where we can take and superimpose ourselves, our voices, our body motions, and everything to animation. And it's on my bucket list, so I should be able to get it done before I take my dirt nap. It's really cool. You guys are going to love it, but we can make animated characters and we can do the motions. So we don't have to do all that busy work once we get the program down. So we're really looking forward to it. And we're going to be making our own cartoons.
But if you guys see something that reminds you of Bernie Sanders or something you think is funny, send it to us.
Yeah, please do. Send it to us. We always need production people who want to do parts on the show or whatever. That'd be great. So we're going to do, what is this? This is a movie you got, right?
Oh, I'm going to school you guys.
All right.
This is why Socrates hated democracy.
Socrates hated who knew?
Who knew?
We're used to thinking very highly of democracy, and by extension of ancient Athens, the civilization that gave rise to it. The Parthenon has become almost a byword for democratic values, which is why so many leaders of democracies like to be photographed there. It's therefore very striking to discover that one of ancient Greece's greatest achievements, philosophy, was highly suspicious of its other achievement, democracy. The founding father of Greek philosophy, Socrates, is portrayed in the dialogues of Plato as hugely pessimistic about the whole business of democracy. In Book 6 of the Republic, Plato describes Socrates falling into conversation with a character called Adimantus and trying to get him to see the flaws of democracy by comparing a society to a ship. If you were heading out on a journey by sea, asks Socrates, who would you ideally want deciding who was in charge of the vessel? Just anyone, or people educated in the rules and demands of seafaring? The latter, of course, says Adimantus. So why then, responds Socrates, do we keep thinking that any old person should be fit to judge who should be the ruler of a country? Socrates' point is that voting in an election is a skill, not a random intuition. And like any skill, it needs to be taught systematically to people. Letting the citizenry vote without an education is as irresponsible as putting them in charge of a trireme sailing to Samos in a storm. Socrates was to have first-hand catastrophic experience of the foolishness of voters. In 399 BC, the philosopher was put on trial on trumped-up charges of corrupting the youth of Athens. A jury of 500 Athenians was invited to weigh up the case and decided by a narrow margin that the philosopher was guilty. He was put to death by hemlock in a process which is for thinking people every bit as tragic as Jesus' condemnation has been for Christians. Crucially, Socrates was not elitist in the normal sense. He didn't believe that a narrow few should only ever vote. He did, however, insist that only those who had thought about issues rationally and deeply should be let near a vote. We have forgotten this distinction between an intellectual democracy and a democracy by birthright. We have given the vote to all without connecting it to wisdom. And Socrates knew exactly where that would lead, to a system the Greeks feared above all, demagoguery. Ancient Athens had painful experience of demagogues. For example, the louche figure of Alcibiades, a rich, charismatic, smooth-talking, wealthy man who eroded basic freedoms and helped to push Athens to its disastrous military adventures in Sicily. Socrates knew how easily people seeking election could exploit our desire for easy answers. He asked us to imagine an election debate between two candidates, one who was like a doctor and the other who was like a sweet shop owner. The sweet shop owner would say of his rival, "Look, this person here has worked many evils on you. He hurts you, gives you bitter potions, and tells you not to eat and drink whatever you like. He'll never serve you feasts of many and varied pleasant things like I will." Socrates asked us to consider the audience's response. Do you think the doctor would be able to reply effectively? The true answer, "I cause you trouble and go against your desires in order to help you," would cause an uproar among the voters, don't you think? We have forgotten all about Socrates' salient warnings against democracy. We have preferred to think of democracy as an unambiguous good rather than as something that is only ever as effective as the education system that surrounds it. As a result, we have elected many sweet shop owners and very few doctors.
Huh. So how do you fix that?
Well, we can't fix it because what we've got now is we keep electing shit for representatives. And, we trumpet the idea of democracy with an ill-informed populace. So until things get so bad, this goes back to the old adage, people will only wake up when they get bit in the wallet, bit in the ass, or sent off to war to die. And it's a slow process, and although democracy may work in the long run, I don't think we've got time to keep doing this experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
I thought that was a great presentation. It wasn't as funny as Bernie Sanders. It was
right. I know.
It was.
But
It was enlightening. I mean, shit.
Right.
They had the same problems back then, and I like the art of Socrates getting the martini glass of hemlock and going, "Hey, fuck off, idiots! I'm right, and you'll find out." So.
Well, I've got some second thought. Is that who? I have some good second thought stuff I thought I'd bring next week, but it's hard to replace Bernie Sanders after 9 weeks of watching it. We were all attached, and we need some new ones.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get there. Just bear with us. We're working on it. We're trying to do that. I do have to say, Sirius threw this comment up during the presentation. Bury me with my butt sticking out of the ground, so visitors will have a place to park their bike. I hope everybody parks. Yeah, I think that's great, Sirius. I mean, yeah, I agree. You know, I don't know. My butt's kind of square. Maybe I could get a skateboard wedged in there, but that's about it. No bicycle. What did you do to me here?
I brought this for Pat, the Batman fan, but we had to move the deck. So, if you could own one arcade game in your home, what would it be?
Oh shit! I don't know. Arcade game, not like Sega or PlayStation. An arcade game,
like an old-fashioned go to the pizza parlor arcade game.
I think one that was modeled after Twin Cobra. That would be a Sega model, but I do like what was the one, Galaga. I really did like Ms. Pac-Man. I liked it better than regular.
Miss Pac-Man was in my top 2, but I gotta say, Cruising the USA was probably my favorite.
I don't even know what that one is.
That was the first one that you could actually climb into, and you were like driving. You had a red Corvette, every time you crashed, the blonde would flip out of the car and get up and dust herself off.
That blonde was you, right?
No, but that was one of my favorites.
That was your favorite.
I like Space Invaders too. Al Wasky.
Yeah, Space Invaders was good. Yeah. The one you could. The first one I ever got into was the X-wing fighter, Star Wars. That was
Star Wars was fun.
That was a fun one. I got in. It cost me a fortune though. It was like $5 a throw.
You just planking quarters in
I was like, God damn! Just where's the stop for the credit card?
Yeah, we could burn money so fast at the arcade as a kid.
Absolutely.
It makes me sad. I walk into my mall that I grew up in, and where the arcade was, has been closed up and turned into a restaurant or something.
Thanks for the memories. Yeah.
The 80s, man, the arcade was the place.
Yeah, I miss those days because although they were shitty, they were the better of times for me. So, but now it's just a shit show. So what is this? Dismantle prisons, abolish ICE.
So this is my most liked post of the week. Normally at this time of the year, I would be down at the border or I would be in Georgia protesting against the School of the Americas with the Catholic workers and Veterans for Peace and Food Not Bombs, and there's so many amazing groups that come together, and we've been trying to shut down the School of the Americas for years and years and years and years.
Yeah,
and pretty much everything bad that we've done in South America or south of the border, it was originated in that school. That's where we train these people to go in there. And
isn't that Spook School?
Spook School, yeah. It's like where Maduro came from. Not Maduro. Maduro.
What a horrible thing. Now you brought this one as well.
So this is, if unions are so bad for the country, why did America's greatest era of prosperity have more workers under a union contract than any other time in history?
Yeah. Well, we just got out of World War II, right? And that was the thing.
True, mass production.
That's, it was. Yeah, and let's kill the planet, but do all that. So, I think I heard yesterday. I think Amber was talking about this our intelligence quotient, and I don't believe it, but every 2 minutes we get a little smarter. I don't see that happening. I think what's getting smarter are the establishment, the oligarchs that are running the world because they're employing AI now.
Well, yeah. I had an AI report I didn't bring just because we had a lot.
Well, a couple of those presentations that we threw up for Brave New Future, that wasn't a human being talking last night. That was AI talking. Both of them, I think. It was AI talking. And I'm thinking, oh, well, this is kind of ironic. So
well, we can do that. I figured out how to do that with our crazy talk.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather hear your dulcet tones coming out of a mangled avatar. That would be much more fun.
Okay, a mangled avatar.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. My mangled avatar. Your avatars are cool. So, what do we got? Tuck from United Spot.
This is just a quick little.
Okay,
spot.
you're gonna not put me out of my misery with this. We'll just check it out. Yeah, I saw this.
Hello? Hey, did we lose her? Must be a bad connection. I'll give her a call later.
Hello, sucker. Is that you?
Well, what a surprise! House Speaker
Hey,
Nancy
how you
Pelosi.
doing?
Nancy, how are you?
I'm doing really good. You know, I'm actually doing really, really good. You know, I'm just sitting over here getting ready to be president, and you know, just enjoying life.
That's awesome. Hey, do you happen to have any evidence on the so-called election fraud?
Election fraud. Yes, actually, you know what? I actually do have all the evidence you would ever need on this so-called election fraud.
That's awesome. Can you share your evidence with us?
Absolutely. You know, it's like the evidence is hang on, the evidence is there is no evidence.
There's no evidence?
Nope. It's an open and shut case.
Huh, I knew Sydney didn't have any evidence.
Yeah, Sydney didn't have any evidence at all. You know, it's like there is no evidence. You know, it's like so what? All right, that's the evidence. All right, so deal with it. You know, and soon I will be Madame President.
I can't wait, Nancy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
God, Tucker. I love seeing Tucker get nailed by United Spot. There
The
you go.
right is tearing fucking Fox News down, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't noticed.
Yeah, welcome to the party, pal. That's where I'm at. Oh, there's two of your favorites right there.
Everybody needs to stop and consider how these two are feeling right now.
Oh, I'm so bad.
Boo.
You know what? If I could go back in time, I would. That's one concert I wouldn't go to. Jesus.
Really?
Christ.
Ted Nugent?
No,
Or Kid Rock?
I never went to, but I went to a Ted Nugent concert, and you know what? He was not the. I think it was Aerosmith that was the lead, and he was this backup band.
Right, he
when
was
I
the
saw
opener.
him. Yeah, so again, I think I gave you this one.
I still get into Stranglehold every time it starts. So,
It
it is a great song.
Well, free
He's
for
a
all.
douchebag.
There
Is
we
that
go.
Peter Frampton?
Yeah, shit. God, yeah, Peter. Do you? Yeah. Well,
I like Peter Frampton.
Yeah, if Cat P was a person, yeah, I get it. Very nice. I gave you that one, I think. So
Yeah, I think you gave me that
Yeah, I
one.
gave you that one. I saw that. That was over at our friend Kathy Copeland Padden's Padden site, and that was great. She's wonderful. I love Kathy. Anyway, we're ready to head out, aren't we?
We are out of here, which I am exhausted. It's been a long, hard week, and now we're coming into Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I'm just thankful that I don't have to do the stress of the holidays. Like, normally at this time, I'd be baking Basque pies and candies and, trying to get, everything put together, make sure we had everything. And I really don't have to do that this year. It's just us at home. I mean, I'll cook us a dinner. But
Yeah, here's my wife. She says, okay, our daughter can come over as long as she wears a mask when she's stops at the door where we decontaminate her, and then when
I'm
she
so
comes
glad.
in, she gets to come in. But when she's eating with her mask off, she can't talk until she's done eating, and then she's got to put the mask back on. And it's like, okay, honey. But this is what we face in this time. Like I said, she doesn't have health insurance. I have pre-existing conditions, and we just can't take any chances at all because whatever. The hell, the body bags are stacking up, guys. The body bags are stacking up. Something's got to be killing people. So there you go. I mean, that's where we're at. So we're not taking any chances.
yeah, but I'm glad. I know you haven't seen her all year. So.
Since New Year's last year. So,
Hey, speaking of New Year's, I've been thinking about our masquerade ball.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's coming up fast. I mean, god dang.
What do you
just
think?
got Halloween. Now we're at Thanksgiving.
Do you think I could come as Mr. Ed?
I don't know, but you better start thinking about your costume. And you guys in the chat that want to come hang out with us like we did on Halloween, get your masquerade together and come spend New Year's Eve with us.
Yeah, really. I just want to get this locust off my back. That's
I know, man. The locusts are just tearing your ass up
tearing
tonight.
me up, man. So anyway, what
Tearing
do
you
we
up.
got? We're off tomorrow, right? And then we come back Monday night?
Monday Night Dive.
Monday Night Dive, yeah, and hopefully I wouldn't mind seeing Stevie come on again. That'd be great.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
dive. Yeah,
I
so
agree.
Redneckonomics, please come on. I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out. I know a couple of you dropped off when we started doing the Hollywood shit and the movie reviews, and I understand. The world's coming to an end, and we're just like blowing by. But you know what? We got to have something.
Right.
Something.
Well, we're blown by it anyways.
Yeah,
so.
we're blown by. Anyway, Snork, 6 feet and mask won't. Yeah, I know. Have her come out for Easter. Yeah, I would. I just, I'm gonna. Maybe I can get a carburetor cleaner and put it around my face. Big.
You see all the people flying? Oh my God, that's stress.
Yeah,
I would not be flying right now.
I know. Anyway, everybody, thanks again for coming in. And Shanda, thank you for being a fantastic hostess again.
Thank you.
And we've got to have our shout out to SNL here.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
I always. Oh, I didn't get to bring this. Jiminy Christmas. We put this to the end.
What's that doing down there?
I'm not gonna. It's
okay.
It's too.
Was it Jimmy? Oh yeah, it is.
it's
Okay. Yeah, I remember this now. How the hell did it get all the way down there?
I don't know. I just put it down there because of whatever. But I got to tell you, you don't want to get me getting on an anti-war tirade right now. We'll be here for another hour.
We're just wrapping up the show.
Yeah,
no
maybe I'll bring
tirades.
it Monday on the dive. But yeah, this blows me away. And just to give you a preview, why are all the Democrats fighting the idea of pulling our troops out of these wars?
Okay, we're gonna go there. So let's go there.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just gonna leave you with that. What are we gonna go out with?
Money.
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 What are we going out with here?
Fuck all the perfect people.
Fuck all the perfect people.
Yep.
Is this going to
Chip
be
Taylor and the New Ukrainians?
Oh, as long as we don't get copyrighted punked on this.
I double checked this one. Double check.
I'm sure we won't get. Anyway, bye everybody. Thank you. Have a great one.
Night.
Thanks. Good night. Bye. Bye.
Now, the first thing you're going to say is to be or not to be. It's going to come up in a second.
To be or not to be, to free or not to free, to crawl or not to crawl. Fuck all those perfect people. To sleep or not to sleep, or not to grieve. And some can't remember what others recall. Fuck all those perfect people. Sleepy eyes waltzing through. No, I'm not talking about you. To stand or not to stand, to plan or not to plan, to stall or not to stall. Fuck all those perfect people. To drink or not to drink, to think or not to think. Some choose to dismember your rise and your fall. And fuck all those perfect people. Sleepy eyes waltzing through. Well, I'm not talking about you. not to sing, to swing or not to swing. Hell, he fills up the silence like a chalk on the wall.